What's going on, everybody? I'm Shy. This is the Dollar Tree. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Yes, hey, we're getting this close to 500. All right, let's keep this rolling. All right. Yeah, appreciate it. Timestamps are in the description. You know how this goes. Timestamps in the description. The YouTube algorithm has been on my back about hitting that like button, hitting the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you know when we upload a new video. All right, this market is going bananas right now. Not everything, but you can already see certain coins that are gonna really run in this next run up. You know, these coins have been setting. You're either gonna have coins setting up for a big run, or the coins that are really showing strong support and strong growth right now are gonna run hard on the next supreme run up. Now, as far as Bitcoin is concerned, hey, Bitcoin is going bananas, but listen, we're stupendously overbought. All right, stupendously overbought. I was gonna throw in a little Bitcoin segment into this thing, but I'm just gonna say this: a pullback is inevitable. When? Who knows? I'm gonna prognosticate. I'll see you down at 13,000. All right, you went straight up. Come on, guys. I'll see you back down at 13,000. If that doesn't happen and we cap off this entire bull cycle with this run up from Bitcoin, this is going to be an extreme disappointment for people. And I think certain coins will continue to run up slightly, but we won't get that crazy, supreme run up. But that's premature. Let's see what happens. We definitely need that pullback from Bitcoin, though, because the pullback will help ensure us that we've got much more to go as far as a run up for this bull cycle, not only for Bitcoin, but for other cryptocurrencies. Speaking of other cryptocurrencies, shout out to the Reserve Rights crew. I'm a part of that. Yep. Now, because of the 10K to 100K challenge, I threw, like I said, I raised the bar a little bit. I threw $100 in my 4 picks to see what that can do on this bull cycle. So Reserve Rights has recently, over the last few days, become the best performer of my 4 picks. If you're not sure about those 4 picks, go ahead and check out the 2 10K to 100K challenge videos. Links are in the description along with the timestamps. All right, so in this video, we're going to talk about Algorand and Swipe because they are officially at a crossroads. So we're going to get updates on them. We're going to talk about the good and the bad. And let's start with Algorand. So let's go ahead into these charts. Let's take a look at Algorand. All right, per usual, Algorand starting off weekly chart. You got some bullish momentum building on the MACD. That's number one on the weekly. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're either gonna get extreme price action before that crosses, or once it crosses, that means you're going to go stupendously bullish. Okay. Now let's see what Bitcoin in this market does. Bitcoin is stupendously overbought, but I'll touch on that more about, the scenarios of the market direction at the end of the video. On the weekly, yes, I like to look at the weekly just to get an overall view of what is going on with the asset. All right. So right now, you're not going to see much. But what you can see is that you got this major support line that I drew from one end to the other. And that major support line, the price on that major support line, I'm going to highlight it here for you guys, is 1.6 cents. All right, that's your major price line. The reason why I drew that is because if this price for Algorand decides to run up extremely high, that's a potential price point that you could see in an extreme bear market for Algorand. How did I come to that conclusion? I'll go further into detail with that if Algorand pumps and exceeds this summer's high of 75 cents. But for right now, just keep that in mind, and we're going to keep that supreme support line there. All right, let's go down to the week. Let's go down to the daily. All right, on the daily, you guys are either going to love me or you're going to hate me for what I'm about to say, but Algorand is at a crossroads. Algorand needs to see price. It needs to see more price action during this altcoin parade. All right. And my reason for saying this is because if you don't start to see a confidence in the market for an increase in asset price for Algorand, people will become, they will become, they'll no longer feel confident in holding on Algorand for a pump, because they'll see the rest of the market going up high and be like, oh, I'm out. I'm going where the gains are. Okay. However, every dog has its day. I know that's a negative connotation, but in this respect, we're going to talk about something a little more positive, because every cryptocurrency at some point in time is going to have its day. Now, I would rather see Algorand pump slowly but surely, making its way to higher prices, as opposed to just, stalling out and then eventually just shooting up a quick 100, 200% and then shooting back down. That's what I don't want to see, because something like that can lead to an even more extreme drop in price because, it's crypto. That's just how it goes. On the daily, you can see that, we didn't get down to that low 21-cent support, that major support down at 21 cents. You came close. All right. You came close. But like I said, here's the thing when you're using fib and drawing charts. All right. Let me go ahead and make sure you guys can see the screenshot. I'm going to draw a line at 21, at 21 even for major support for you guys here on the chart. All right. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Why am I showing you guys this? Listen, I am always prepared to make money in both directions of the market. And now that we're getting closer and closer to the end of this cycle, yes, we're probably still a ways away, but we need to keep track of these major support levels so we know where during the bear market we may want to cut loose on our gains in the bear cycle. Yeah, I said it. And start to look toward accumulating for a bull cycle. That's why I'm doing that. Now, to the point of where we are now, we didn't get all the way down there, as you can see, but we did come close. Let's go down to the 12-hour and see just how close. On a 12-hour, okay? Now, you can see the blue box to the right of the screen, on the screen, shot at 22.25 cents. Here's what I need you guys to understand. We're not the only ones who are doing this. So when somebody sees that, it's a major support at 21, I'm going to start buying at 22 so I can get good amounts of money in the market and make sure that my money is picked up due to liquidity issues that a lot of these coins have. That is a strategy. All right. That's why I came up with the strategy of zoning. I will dive deeper into that on the Patreon, and I kind of dive deeper into it, and I kind of exposed a good percentage of it when giving you guys a scenario for Swipe and Algorand. Now, on this, so people are looking at it as, oh, I'm going to buy to make sure I get my money in because I want a certain amount of money in. And everybody saw 22, which if you look left to this chart, it's not far off from this white support line that I've drawn. All right. This white major support line. Okay, let's go down to the 8-hour. Enough about that. Let's go down to the 8-hour. Well, I'll elaborate more on that as time goes on and we keep track of this setup. All right, now we can see where I drew the inverse head and shoulders, or better off, pretty much a flip in the market here on the 8-hour. And you can see that once again, it got up and away from that lower low, and it bounced, of course, inverse head and shoulder, but it's not playing out. It's not playing out as that. Okay, right now it's been trading in a range. And to be honest with you, that trading range is a great place to make money. I'll explain on the Patreon, okay? So what we're looking for now is for Algorand to break out of this range. If you got more touches on the bottom than the top, then of course that's downward pressure. Right now you've got more upward pressure, all right? Especially now with the price moving to the upside. Why am I saying this? Let me draw something for you. Yes, that just happened. Look at this screenshot and you can see that this was an amazing range and that Algorand has broken out of this. Now, the measured move for this is going to be up around, it's a pretty big move. I mean, this is on the 8-hour. So that move, let's show where this move could go. There you have it. The measured move of this breakout is, hold on, let me put it here for you guys. 33 cents. All right. So 33 cents is the measured move for this breakout for Algorand. Let's go down. I mean, listen, we already see what's happening here on the 8 hour, but for the sake of it, let's go down to the 4 hour and finish up. All right, on the 4 hour, I readjusted it to make sure that this line is touching with the triangle, symmetrical triangles line, and you got 32.82 cents as far as the measured move. Now, let me give you another nugget. A lot of people are probably going to see this as a breakout for this structure as well and take profits early, stalling the price from reaching its target. All right. So to further validate this, I'm going to draw a line from the left to the top of this measured move from previous resistance. All right, where the price was rejected to the left. And when we draw that line straight across, which you can see on this screenshot, we get 32.52 cents. All right, you're welcome. That's the measured move. Whether we get there because of this altcoin continuous parade remains to be seen. Now, I'm gonna go into detail about where this price could come back to as far as a Bitcoin pullback. If we're looking at a 30% pullback for Bitcoin, your major support is going to be back down here at this lower white line around 22 cents. But I'll update and get further into that as we go along and see how Bitcoin plays out, how far up it will go, how high up it will go before we get a little bit of a pullback for Bitcoin. That is expected. Listen, if we don't get it, man, that could mean a lot of different things, different scenarios for the market. Let's move on to Swipe. All right, now before I move on to Swipe, let me touch on something that I said in previous Algorand videos in case you guys don't go back and watch this. Early on when this whole downtrend was happening, I talked about drawing a line for your zoning, your accumulation. If you did that, you're in profits right now on Algorand. Okay, you're welcome. All right, now how high up it will go, how far it will go, you have to be able to gauge the market to determine that. All right, but I guess maybe I'll dive deep on that toward the end of the video. Let's continue on with Swipe. Here on the weekly for Swipe, we do have something good to point out, not just thought sequence. You got a bullish engulfing candle on the weekly, right where this circle is. I'm not going to get rid of that circle or fix it because we're going to need that circle from our previous update for Swipe so we can continue to keep track of what this price is doing and the scenarios and contingencies for this setup. All right, so bullish engulfing candle, that's a good sign. You've got two more green candles from that, but you're probably going to see one more green candle and then the red one. But that's good for the weekly. Let's go see what we can see on the daily. Now, I have a good eye for seeing things on these charts before I draw them. Now, this just looks immediately off the rip like a bunch of gibberish on the daily. But what I do see is something that is going in the slightly upward direction. So let me draw that. Okay, so you got increasing, you got higher lows right now. All right, that's what you got on Swipe. That is a good sign. Now, I know someone said in the comment section, Swipe is super bullish. I said, I didn't go crazy. I just said, let's see what happens. Not much is happening. Even what I drew from my previous update, which was a bullish scenario, didn't quite get there. It did break out. It did go up to the upside, but it just couldn't muster up enough market support to continue higher because clearly everyone else's focus was on Ethereum, Bitcoin, reserve rights, Yearn Finance 1, Yearn Finance 2. Other coins had a lot of the markets, more of the market. Litecoin, hey, shout out to Litecoin. That's not about you though. A lot of other coins were getting the shine. So we have to see how this plays out and if people, get reinvested financially and emotionally and mentally into Swipe. Let's go down to the 12 hour. Now on the 12 hour, you can see this much better. You can even see that there are two touches from the wicks of these two red candles on this line. So there's some validity to this. All right. Now, what I'm looking at here is confusion. Lots of confusion and uncertainty as far as the Swipe asset goes. I drew kind of like that double bottom on the shorter time frames. That'll clear up once we get into the the 8 and the 4 hour. But what I want to discuss is what can we see potentially as far as measured moves You're not going to see it here on the 12-hour. Let's go down to the 8-hour and see if we can see something a little bit better and clearer. All right, so on the 8-hour, pretty much the same thing. Nothing really clear. I'm trying to see what I could find here. I don't want to just draw anything supremely random. But what I will tell you is this. All right, where you got these two top red wicks, this is important for you. You need to break up above and out away from those two red wicks. Because if you do not, you're going to be in trouble. Now, from the candle body, I'm going to draw an additional line across just to get a better idea of, just to validate my my thoughts on what's bullish and bearish for swipe. Now, under different market conditions, as you see this this structure that I've drawn, this would be pretty accurate, and you know, this would be pretty accurate. It looks very similar to Algorand. You know, what we drew in Algorand on the 8-hour, very similar. Under different market conditions, I could see this as supremely bullish, but because it hasn't broken out like Algorand, that just tells you that this is more likely to falter than it is to succeed in validating this idea, at least as of now. All right, let's go down to the 4-hour and let's talk bullish and bearish scenario. All right, here on the 4-hour, like this structure that I've got here, this is gonna better determine. Like I'm saying, this is gonna better determine what we're looking at. Now, you cross bullish on the MACD, but you don't got a lot of volume on that move. So it's not going to result in anything substantial in price movement. Also, another thing as well, you can just tell that overall, you know, the market involvement and sentiment for swipe right now is not very enthusiastic. Now, somebody said something in the comment section about swipe being a scam coin. Look, man, I'm gonna do a video on scam coins. I got that video coming down the line, but okay, bullish bearish scenario for swipe. Let's talk about bullish bearish scenario. Now, before even drawing any of this, just understanding the previous price action from swipe, bullish above $1.04, bearish below $1. And now that this structure has given us more insight as to the price action of swipe, I'm going to tell you like this: bullish above $1.06. Like if you look to the right where you see this small little line, which would mimic a breakout, it's got a range of $1.06 to $1.12. You gotta break that, and that $1.06 to $1.12 is equivalent to the top of the that candle wick to the left of that slight candle wick to the left of where I drew that. Okay, so bearish, you break out of this triangle to the downside is going to be extremely bearish, and a breakdown out of this triangle is below 93 cents. So once again, you got to hold and break above. You got to break out to the upside of this triangle. But again, due to the sentiment of the market, you know, you could see some substantial downside if Bitcoin decides to start pulling back. Now, let's talk about that substantial downside and go from there. Bitcoin is going to do one or two things. It's either going to make the altcoins happy or it's going to make the altcoins very mad. All right, so the scenarios that I'm looking at right now is, number one, Bitcoin continues to pump, puts in all-time highs, and then boom, 13,000, here we go. Now, if that's the case, it's going to pull all of these altcoins that are pumping with it, it's going to pull it down 20 to 40% with it. Now, lesser performing altcoins like the two that in this video, Swipe and Algorand, those are probably going to level off back down to support where it was previously. Now, if that's not the case, then that is a beyond extremely bearish scenario for the rest of this bull run for Swipe and Algorand. That is not good. That is why stop losses are important. Okay. Now, I drew that 22 line because of that. And on the next update, we'll talk. If that's the scenario on the next update, you know, we'll lay out our contingencies for that. Now, another scenario is once that pullback happens from Bitcoin and the market comes with it, we get the same thing we got in March, where suddenly you start to see an implosion of an uprising in altcoins, 10x and 15x and 20x and 15x, but you're not going to get that without a dump first. I hope I'm wrong about that, but history shows that I'm not. You're not going to get that measure. What did I used to say? 70% of the time, it's going to break down lower before it starts to break even higher. So if we stick to that, then we're actually going to be rooting for a drop in Bitcoin or a pullback in the market, because that's going to bring many new buyers into the market, all right? But that's all I got for you for the Algorand and Swipe update. Not all doom and gloom. We need that pullback. I just want more price action to the upside for those coins so that the pullback doesn't hurt as much. But that still doesn't mean we're going to get less of a pump after that. We still got to wait and see what happens. But those are realistic scenarios based on previous price action in the market. All right. So we study those things and we use them as tools to determine risk to reward when investing in the market. It's not about getting in. It's about when you get in. Okay. Now, this strategy may have some naysayers, but I will dive deeper onto why it makes the most sense. All right. Shout out to the people who are buying $92 Ethereum, $100, $150 Ethereum. That is why it makes sense, because even in those heavy pullbacks, it's about when you get in once the price dumps and then continues to boost higher. But that's all I got for you guys today. Video suggestions, comment section, leave them in the comment section below. If you got anything more complex or specific, DM us on Instagram at the.dollar.tree. I want to know you guys' picks for this 10K to 100K challenge. I see a lot of people, rooting on reserve right. I need to see more out of Zilliqa though. So Zilliqa I want to see more out of Zilliqa. I'll just leave it at that. Kava's doing all right, pull back a little bit, doing all right, recovered. Band is pretty much breaking even. But that's all I got, man. Holla at me. Shout out to you guys once again, and I will see you in the next video.